is a presentation of Mr. X News Network.
It's time for XNN.
Objection! I said I didn't do nothing!
The following is a presentation of Mr. X News Network.
It's Mr. X News Network. We're here live right off the bat. I want to say thank you because some reason it didn't star, and I will start right here at the top of the show. It's Rainbow Melon. Best place to be is here on XNN with Mr. X here on YouTube, and you can support by giving money and giving a thumbs up, as she says. Share and hype up. All support is appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Rainbow Melon. There's the arm. And then, of course, Rainbow Melon comes in a second time. Some reason didn't pop up in the starred section, but we'll take it. Thank you, Rainbow Melon. That's right. Mr. X News Network is here. We're ready to go. How did you like my new opening? New little opening that the Mr. X has. You know, I keep getting these strikes, these little privacy strikes for this and for that. And I'm like, well, it says that the 5-minute countdown that I was using was public domain. Anybody could use it. And then there's music on it. So I went into the AI and I said, make some rock, make some this, make some that. And, you know, I found a 3-minute countdown in Canva, added a little bit to it, and we got what we got now. Now Mr. X owns it. Now, the problem is let's bring this down just a tiny bit, Monkey. The problem is that the XNN logo, the sound on that's obviously okay, but the Mr. X opening that I like that much, my favorite one that I've ever done, that one keeps getting hit. So I can't technically monetize the advertising. They're not strikes. But speaking of strikes, I got to say this, and I reached out to him, and I don't like starting off with hater stuff, but I got to mention it. Eric Foss, you're getting struck, my friend, over and over and over again. You lost more content. You took a picture of Mark Terry right here in this spot with some eyes going which left and right. I don't know how you did it, but I know this. You got a privacy strike for it. An AI strike, if I'm not mistaken. Not a smart move. You have a monetized channel. I know you're not making a lot in super stickers and super chats, so maybe that doesn't mean much to you. My suggestion, and I sent you an email. I sent Eric Foss a very nice email saying to him, listen, dude, my suggestion is don't let Jim come up on your show and do this because you're going to have more. I know Texas Granny and other people are sending them in. You're going to get more and more and more of those. It's not very wise. Here's the thing. I'm not doxing you. I'm not doing anything to you. If you continue to do those shows, and I'm telling you, I'm the one who did it, you're going to get strikes. That's it. Now, will they be the real life strikes that are the ones that are the tough ones that, you know, make you gone for a week or two? I don't know. But those shows won't be around anymore. I can tell you that. So my suggestion to you is don't succumb to what, you know, is going on over there and do your own thing. I said the same thing to Shark Hitter. And if you do your own thing, you won't get any problem from me. I rarely talk about you, but I understand you need content. You need probably allegedly some weed money, some alcohol money. You know, I get it. So my suggestion is I wouldn't do that because these people here, let's say, for example, you do something against Texas Granny as an example. I guarantee you're going to get struck for it. And is that worth it? For who? For Jim? I mean, he's using you. And when I go to Johnny's show and I talk about stuff, I don't recall, and you can ask Johnny, if Johnny is getting any strikes because of me. I just try to keep that stuff over there because it's a little bit more wide open. And this stuff, I try to not talk about this stuff. So we're already here early on, 162 people watching us live. Thank you for joining me here on this earlier XNN, less than a 24-hour notice to let you know that we're going to be earlier today. I have changed up the workout routine, not because of anything, just because I'm trying to do more. So the times that I'm going, and obviously we got to talk about the schedule, and we'll get into some more of the super stickers that are coming in. 2 Rainbow Melon ones right off the bat that did not star. But the big thing is I will be doing XNN here Monday night, and this schedule could always change. And Thursday night will be the next XNN, probably around 7:30 Pacific. It'll be around 7:30 Pacific. The reason is because, hey, I got to do it. It's that time of year. The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing on Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And how could I talk about it? How could I be educated if I'm here and I'm watching it and I'm here and I'm watching it? So I think that I'm going to go Thursday night. At least that's the plan as of right now. Let's say hello to some people, including some super stickers coming in. This is going to be number 3. It's Texas Granny coming in, $20. Thank you, Texas Granny. Okay. She's number 3, 20 big dollars right off the bat. And 192 live, less than 10 minutes into it. Wyatt Earp is in the house. Mean Green is in the house. Johnny Yarbrough's here. Got a chance to talk to Johnny Yarbrough. Johnny Yarbrough did not go on last night. Everybody knows that he's coming off that surgery. And I called him up and I said, dude, if you're not going, you don't have to go every night, or every couple nights a week. You have no set schedule. Just take some time. And I don't think he was going to go on anyway. But, he's just recovering. I think he was feeling real good after the surgery. And then, as some time passes, you get on, a little deeper into it. And I don't want to speak for his medical situation, but, sometimes it's just good to take some time. Speaking of taking time, I have an exclusive interview with Adele, who was in something called Emerge. Yeah, you haven't seen Adele, not because she's a problem. Emerge in Canada is the emergency room. I have a 7-minute interview with Adele. I didn't know if she was going to be here this late for her, so I got it about an hour ago, where she talks about what happened in her medical condition. She misses everybody. She wants to say hello, everybody. I'll play that later in the show. So I want to put out my best wishes to Adele. And speaking of Mean Green, number 4. There's only like 2 or 3 people. I want to say what's up to William and the Sci-Fi Center. People say that Mr. X is not in other groups and is not here and is not there. 225. I was in the Williams group the other night. Want to say what's up to William and the people in Vegas at the Sci-Fi Center. Obviously, now that I say that, they'll probably get harassed. But Rainbow Melon is here. We talked about her earlier. I mentioned Texas Granny. Yes, Johnny Yarbrough. Who else did I miss? Wyatt Earp is in the house. And we're continuing it on. Speaking of Wyatt Earp, he's coming in. He says, I'm the next one. I hope you have a great show, Mr. X. We're going to try to do it. He's in the house. He's number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Number 5, but number 1 in our hearts. Wyatt Earp's been around a long time. You know how we haven't heard of some of the elder statesmen in the group? We haven't heard anything from Bob in a long time. I'm not in touch with Bob. I've only had 1 phone call with Bob. Donkey Dick is in the house, but he's kind of disappeared. Whatever's going on with Bob, I wish him well, just like I wish Wyatt Earp well and a bunch of other people that are coming in. It was nice to touch base with Tennessee Gambler. I recently heard from Eric Murphy, hearing from a lot of different people. A lot of these people that kind of were coming back around in the August and September months. During the summer months, they're out. But it's good to hear back from some people that have not been around in 2 months. Don't forget, today's August 17th. So we're about 2 months now removed from when the OTT has ended. We've heard a lot of promises. We've heard a lot of shenanigans, none of which have come true. And maybe some of that we'll get into later, but maybe some we won't. We'll see how things go. I'm not 100% sure. I got a lot of other things I'd really rather talk about. That's right. I do appreciate it. And, of course, Wyatt is handsome in uniform. Hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with Johnny Yarbrough later in the show. And I know this is a weird time. Maybe better for Tingle Booze, a little bit earlier instead of at the 7:30 like Thursday's show will be. I created the new countdown that you saw at the beginning of the show because, The other one said royalty free, but I keep getting notices. Johnny knows about this. Your channel's not getting struck, but this is a copyright notice, and now they're receiving your money. And it kind of makes me think like the XNN opening logo or the opening little thing, I keep getting hit on that one too. And I may eventually recut it to a new song. We'll see. But I really like that one. I like that opening. It's probably my favorite one I've ever done. Thank you to everybody that's joining me or joining in the aggregate. Kathy Fagan is here as well. I heard Kathy Fagan. I believe she is number 6 here. But Cat 499, Kathy Fagan's taking a much deserved rest. And her and her husband, there's been a lot of talk about this about her husband and that about her husband. But the fact of the matter is, they're up and about. They're having a good time. I'm not going to say much more than that. And I wish her the best. She deserves that kind of, let's just say, vacation, for a lack of a better term. She's in the house as well. So Rackinson Kennel is here. It seems like things are getting better. Thank you for being here as well. And another friend of ours, I think is, I knew how to pronounce that name earlier, but now I don't. No, I don't know how to pronounce it. I do have a great, I call it a receipt, hardcore prank that might be played later in the show. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's some great stuff. And unlike some of these other things where it's like a alleged 12-minute interview and you hear 2 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, this is 10 or 12 minutes, and you're here the vast majority of it. Number 7 coming in, it's Texas Granny. She's $20. She's back in the house. Texas Granny, hope you're doing well. A lot of that stuff, and I will get into it later, with the lips and the Barbara Buffalo and this and that and the Texas Granny, that has been proven false. There is a Rumble channel called @MrXTV. There's a link currently, and I might delete the links that are in the YouTube description. For 2.5 years, Lips had the security footage of Jim getting grabbed. Okay, Jim getting grabbed. Like, here's Jim, and here's security guard. Here's Jim. Like, I've never had a man grab me, and I can't move. And he can't move for a minute. We're going to try that theory out here in a bit. Coach. I've never seen that footage. I was on the toilet watching it, and my hand started shaking. I was getting so embarrassed. But I was like, that's not the Mr. X. What do I got to worry about? Nobody has ever put their hands on me like that for a minute straight, ever. You win some, you lose some. That's bad. 3 things in that process have happened. 1, I don't see Lips anymore over there. 2, if you look at the end of that video that's on Rumble, it proves that Barbara Buffalo was telling the truth, and everything that Lips was allegedly saying about Barbara Buffalo, it was Lips saying it. And number 3, that video that Lips was trying to sell that's been in existence for 2.5 years online, it's been online for 2.5 years on her channel, has now been made public. What would happen, Eric? Eric, you were saying it wasn't that bad. What would happen if I held on to you like that? Let's say we were both in prison or in jail, like that for a minute. Would you knock my hands down? The only way you wouldn't is if you were afraid of police officers. Remember I said that? He's afraid of police officers? That was way, way worse than. And then it's like, imagine the guy gets to be like this. I'm gonna come on, get back here. Come on. This is the guy holding the Mr. X back. Come back here. Now I'll fight you. When the guy was grabbing you, why weren't you tough then? I don't know. I do know. Texas Granny coming in. Number 8 is also Texas Granny. I'm sorry, it's not Texas Granny. It's Miss Texas. She's in the house. She's back. Thank you, Miss Texas. Thank you, Mean Green. Thank you, Texas Granny. Thank you, Kathy Fagan. Thank you, Rainbow Melon. Everybody over here, whatever that situation was, is getting along. Everybody, as far as I know, is cool. And, I didn't want to spend 30 minutes on that thing on Rumble, but I'm glad that I did. I'm not wearing any pants either. No, I'm kidding. I'm wearing shorts. P to the Z is in the house. P to the Z. He's here. PZ, if the shit gets crazy sometimes, I get it. Sometimes, dude, you got to take a break. I get it. You know, running into the fire sometimes is not the best way to cool down, as they say. You know, anyway, P to the Z is in the house. Thank you also, Miss Texas. She is here. Moving on, you know, I mentioned the Steelers play Friday night. I got to watch the game. I'm going to get my hands on the game, even if it's on a national television. But I got to say this. And you can't blame the Mr. X for allegedly swearing under oath. You can't blame that for your loss of money. This past weekend in the NFL, and let me just say this first. If you are a sports gambler and you win 55 to 60% of your games, let's just say 60%, you could do it as a profession. Just 60%. It's very difficult to do it. I'm not saying over a weekend. I'm saying over years. A professional gambler, professional sports bettor, because don't forget there's a 10% juice fee on each side, will get you in a position to be a professional gambler. This, since the beginning of preseason till now, over 70% of the games have gone under the total. And if you only bet overs, and 70% go under, and you got to get to 55, 60% just to be profitable, it's a huge losing weekend. And next thing you're doing, you're calling attorneys on Sunday? Sure. Hey, before we get into that, what's your attorney's name? Sound familiar from Leanne? What's your attorney's name? Give me your attorney's number. I'll call him. Sound familiar? It's no attorney. Oh my God. Yeah, Texas Granny's a big fan of the Rumble. Yeah, and I hear that there's a strikes aplenty, but it is. What's your attorney's name? Let me call him up or her up. Yeah, sports gambling, you got to stay away from it in preseason. It's a tough thing to bet on. Speaking of destroyed, yeah, I mentioned that Eric Foss did a show and he tried to put up a picture of Mark Terry. That has been taken down. It's struck. It's removed. You know, trying to send a nice email to him to say, listen, dude, stop doing that kind of stuff. And, you know, I spoke to Mark and he said that you won't have a problem. But, I mean, obviously there was no reply there. Maybe he'll get some, I don't know. Maybe he'll get a little smarter. Also, there is talk that Janelle is going to be on some kind of show Wednesday. And I just want to say this, that I heard from Janelle, and I didn't even realize I heard from her, and I could prove it. I know you guys don't always like hearing about Janelle too much, but allegedly she was going to be, this is what I heard, she was going to be on Jim's channel or her channel on Wednesday, and there was going to be the Doxathon, just like it was going to be done behind the paywall, just like it was going to be done on Rumble and all this and all that. Well, you know, ironically, Janelle emails me the day before this and says, Jim is still calling my job. Look at the dates. So I guess Jim said this thing on Sunday, but on Saturday, the 15th, and I didn't even see this to now, Jim is still calling my job, and I don't know what his intentions are by doing that. But we have a week away from moving into our brand new place, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let him destroy that. Not only deal with Jim is going head to head with him. I don't mind going head to head with him. I made it clear there's no one I'm afraid of on YouTube, and that includes Jim Terry. I want nothing to do with that asshole. Then 24 hours later, he says that Janelle is going to be doing a show. And look, this is an unsolicited email that she just sent to me. You don't see it. And I responded to her. He told people tonight that on Wednesday night, your channel will be up and you will be doxing everybody on your channel. I think that was, I didn't think that was true after you trying to him to call your work in the past. Have you spoke to him? What's going on? Okay. And that was 17 hours ago. So you can see that right there, clear as day. This woman, according to her on Saturday, wants nothing to do with Jim. But folks, let's just say what this really is. What is this really? What is this whole new thing about a lawsuit and a whole new thing about Janelle and a whole new thing about this and that? It's all about you You not paying attention to this. You not talking about this. Attack somebody else. See, that's what he does. He attacks other people, and then you have to explain, well, here's how this lawsuit works. Here's how this. He doesn't want you to talk about this. No, coach, come up here. That's what he doesn't want you to talk about. So he'll talk about, maybe he talked to Janelle afterwards. I don't know. But I do know that Janelle emailed me unsolicited, and there's that. So it is what it is. Back in the chat. 247 here live with the Mr. X. Now, let's get back into the other subjects that need to be spoken about. I talked about Janelle. There was a weird story. Now, speaking of Pittsburgh, Mean Green, there is a guy out there who was in Dawn of the Dead with Ken Foree. We talked about it. He played Sex Machine in the movie From Dusk Till Dawn. He's the guy who had the penis gun that popped up in that vampire movie, the Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney movie. I saw him last year when we were at Monsterpalooza. Something happened, and it's in the New York Post. I know people that have worked with this guy. I've heard some mixed reviews, some mixed things. Tom Savini, he's a big makeup guy, but his house burned down. And his house is in, I forget what area, Bloomsfield, Pittsburgh. You ever heard of that area, Mean Green? Bloomsfield, Pittsburgh. Let me get some of these ads taken down as I kind of reorganize some of this stuff here. But Bloomsfield, Pittsburgh, it's big national news in the New York Post. And let me tell you this. People we don't know, I know you're spending some time, but let me tell you, if we don't know you, the leash is usually very short. We're always welcoming to new people, but moderators know what to do. Let me tell you that. But let me also tell you this, Mean Green. No, Bloomsfield, never heard of it. Okay. Well, I never heard of it either. Miss Texas coming in again, $10. I'll bring that up in a second here. Dawn of the Dead actor's home burns down as firefighters, no L in it, battle the blaze. There's Tom Savini. Actually, we showed him, big makeup and effects guy, 79 years old. Bloomsfield, Pittsburgh, as I mentioned, his house burned down. Now, I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but there's always been a little bit of murky waters around Mr. Savini. I personally have no issue with him. He's been around a long time. See this right here? You see this picture right here? It says Sin V. That's Cineverse. Cineverse, it owns Bloody Disgusting. They're also the production company that made Terrifier. Cineverse has their own OTT. It looks just like that. You can't see it all. Whoops. Well, what does that mean? Samurai Priest Vampire Hunter is on Cineverse. That's right. Go look at it. They also own one of the horror movie channels. But, yeah, I don't want to see anything bad happen to Tom Savini. I mean, I hope there's nothing nefarious going on. I hope it just, was something serious. Hopefully he's got insurance and everything is taken care of for him. He's had a long career. A lot of people have him act in movies, too, which is great. I know a guy who was a gemologist in Florida. He had a film called Unearthed that never really released. Not the 8 Films to Die For Unearthed, but the Tom Savini Unearthed. And, man, this guy spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of own money making Tom Savini the main character, shot it on video. This is right as I was leaving Florida. They wanted me to work on it. I didn't want to work on it because I knew I was leaving. I knew it wouldn't work out for the Mr. X. Weezer is in the house. Want to say what's up to Weezer? Just pop it up real quick. I want to say hi to everyone. Sorry I can't stay long. I have to take care of my animals. All right, good. Everybody likes Weezer. Weezer's around. We have heard from Weezer recently. She's back in the house. Say hi to Ty Corbin if you see him in the post office. But, yes, Tom Savini, I saw him at the Son of Monsterpalooza, the one we did a live from in, I think, October. That was in Burbank. That was on the OTT. And then he is 79. He looks pretty old, and he had a lot of young chicks around him. But, the guy is a legend. Guys like Greg Nicotero, who did The Walking Dead and all that, they came up through him. if you watch Dawn of the Dead, the original one, the one with Ken Foray, he's the biker that comes in there, kind of the main biker at the end when they open up the mall. He's been in a ton of other movies. But also, speaking of horror movies, it's that time of year. I don't know if you guys are fans of the film Phantasm. Phantasm with the little ball that flies through the mortuary, and there's a tall guy, Angus Scrimm. One of the main characters of that, a guy who's been in a lot of independent films too, but he's known for Phantasm, a guy named Reggie Bannister passed away. I saw him probably at, I can't remember the name of the convention. It was in Pasadena. It was right after the pandemic. It was like the first one, and he just wasn't in the best of health. I know people that worked with him said nothing but nice things about him. His wife, I guess her name's Gigi. She's one of those women where like the guy is cool, but the wife like controls his career, and she's like kind of a bitch. And I don't know one person that likes her. She's one of these kind of people. This is what I hear. I don't know. I don't know directly, but I've heard this from multiple people that she is holding some kind of funeral that has a door price to come into the funeral that's for a charity. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying not to judge too much, but like she would try to take over independent films and put herself, and she's not in the movie, she's not an actress, but there's a lot of these. I've seen this before. I saw this with Kahana. I saw this with Reggie. I even saw it with John Voight, where they got like a wife, and their wife is like the good cop, but they're the bad cop. Oh, come on, we got to go. And like, you want to talk to John Voight. You don't give a shit about his wife. You want to talk to the man. I mean, he was in Deliverance. He was in Midnight Cowboy. And he was in Transformers. I was at the rap party. That's where I talked to him at. I didn't care about Shia LaBeouf. I don't even know who the fuck he was at that point. I wanted to talk to John Voight. He was in Heat. And she's not going to allow it. Now I talked to him for like a minute, maybe max. But there are a lot of those women in the industry. And they have really no other. I mean, I can understand wanting to take care of their husband, but they're like a weird handler in a way. Come on, we got to go. Go where? You're at a rap party. It's not like you got to go talk to Michael Bay. He already hired you. Plus, like, you're John Voight. Yes. So, anyway, I don't know. I don't know the ages of that. Yeah, it could be for charity. I mean, why not? Yeah, you're right. That's fine. And if it is, I'll be the first to say I'm wrong. But I am not wrong about this. Miss Texas is a very nice woman. She's a very big contributor. She's been around a long time. She loves the Mr. X. She loves the Mr. X. She likes to listen to the Mr. X. She wants to meet the Mr. X. Well, she never said that. But she comes in $10. She's number 9. All right. We're back. So, yeah, I wanted to mention that. Rest in peace, Reggie. A lot of people, I mean, who would think that Reggie Bannister would not outlive somebody like Ron Jeremy? I mean, is that guy even still alive? Is he still even living life? And see, like Ron Jeremy, Reggie Bannister, Eric Roberts, Vernon Wells, who was in you hear Michael Madsen when he was alive. Like a lot of these guys kind of made the rounds in the independent movies. Lance Hendrickson, $5,000 to $10,000 a day. Jeffrey Combs, guys who would be at horror movie conventions. Speaking of which, I saw Mortal Kombat 2. I had to watch it. It just came out on streaming not too long ago. I think it's on HBO Max. And Johnny Cage is in it, the character Johnny Cage. And they're showing like this action movie. And I thought this was very fitting with all this stuff. And they kind of pull out, and it's a TV, and Johnny Cage is like all old, and he's sitting at a convention. And everybody goes, oh, look at how terrible Johnny Cage looks. And I'm like, oh my God, that's me. That's me going to the convention. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then he gets in there and kicks some ass. It's actually not that bad. I've seen some movies recently like Masters of the Universe and Mortal Kombat 2 where I'm like going in with very low expectations, and I'm like, these aren't, I mean, they didn't make a lot of money. Even that movie Cutthroat Island from the 90s, I'd heard how horrible it was. Now, I nodded off a few times and woke up, but it wasn't that bad. Yes. Trollmania, ask for what? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking for. Ask for these. That's right. These are dollar store sunglasses. They keep breaking. I keep getting more and more of them. That's right. They're not Ray-Bans. They're not prescription. They're not nothing. But hey, I appreciate anybody who subscribes to the Mr. X News Network, who loves the Mr. X, and then, waits their 2 hours and wants to come in here. Now, we got to be a little bit gun shy because of all the haters out there, but we'll give you a chance. We got the 3 best moderators in the business. Everybody knows them. Everybody loves them. They are not in any order. Rainbow Melon, Barbara Buffalo, and Texas Granny. Everybody loves them. Well, there are some people who don't like them, but they're very nice to the Mr. X, and I'm happy to have them. Very lucky to have them. I'm glad they're here with me. Everybody knows them. Now, yes. What he's saying is, I was trying to say, if it's for charity, I'm to write off whatever he's inheriting. Maybe that's what it is. That could be the case. And if that is, I don't know the person, but they actually, I'll be the first to apologize, but I know for a fact that they live up near Big Bear. Beautiful area up there, actually not too far from Rontello. So a lot of those kind of older Hollywood people went up in there that actually still stuck around. That's right. So they're around. Well, they're not all around. Some are around. So we talked about the Janelle email. That's right. Horror legend Tom Savini. I mentioned Reggie Bannister. Rest in peace. Great episode. I know that the women are just going to love this part. Great episode of Dark Side of the Ring came out this week on Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. The great thing about Vice and these Dark Side of the Ring is the fact that they're being played for free on YouTube. Vice, the channel, the Canadian channel. What's up, Adele in Canada? And we'll get to her. The Canadian channel is playing them for free, so you don't necessarily even need to have the subscription or have whatever it is. Now, if you guys don't remember WrestleMania 1, it was Mr. T and Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper. And I met Roddy Piper. He's a nice guy. Rest in peace. And Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Actually, rest in peace, Paul Orndorff. Hulk Hogan's dead too. I mean, of those 4, the only one that's alive is Mr. T. How about that? So there's kind of like a little weird kinship between Hogan and Mr. Wonderful. They were in the first ever WrestleMania. I mean, obviously the person who got pinned was Mr. Wonderful. Piper's not going to take the pin. T's not going to take the pin. Hogan for sure wasn't going to take the pin. So you got to take it for somebody who's believable. And it's Mr. Wonderful. Hogan, Mr. Wonderful, and I think B. Brian Blair all graduated from that wrestling camp that was in Florida with Hiro Matsuda, the only 3. Mr. Wonderful is from Brandon, Florida, which is south of Pinellas County, but kind of in the same zeitgeist, close enough that you might play their high school if it's a big enough game. And man, this guy was a stud from early on, fighting, badass football player, went to the University of Tampa, had a great run in the old WWF. But then he got some kind of stinger. I think it was from a chair shot. And one of his arms started getting skinny and atrophied up. And he was in the middle of his run with Hogan, so he didn't get it fixed. I mean, when you work with Hogan during that time frame, if you're not, working every night or a couple nights a week, you're losing a ton of money. So he decides to work and he retires at age 40, which is actually these days seems like pretty young for a wrestler. He invests in a bowling alley in Tampa. And, here's the weird thing. All these management investors or money investors, it always seems to be the same story. They all seem to fuck everybody out of their own money. Unless it's a family member, and even then, every money management person that I think I've ever seen fucks people out of their money. So he owns a bowling alley. He's not really a bowler. And this money management guy fucks him out of his money. So what happens? Paul Orndorff comes back and he's wrestling UWF. He was wrestling in other places like WCW. And eventually, towards the end of WCW in probably the year 2000, he's like in his 50s at this point. He tries to do a pile driver on a younger guy, which was his move, and then his head jerks back as he hits the ground. And I think it broke his neck, and they took him out. I remember it happened, and that was the end of his career. Pretty sad. Then towards the end, during the pandemic, his wife wasn't really taking care of him. And they're around sometimes when they get the money, but when the money's not coming in, maybe not as much. I remember Paul Orndorff being at WrestleMania 30 when I was there in New Orleans, but his wife is not taking care of him. So the son posts a video of him just looking horrible in the hospital. And that was just to get him out of the hospital, to try to raise hell, because the wrestling community would go nuts, and they did. So a very well done episode. I mean, they always do them well. Dark Side of the Wrestling. It's on Vice. And it's Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. But then again, that's kind of the era that I'm interested in. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit more interested in that. So check it out if you get a chance. No, Jim did not put that one together. So another piece of information I talked about last week, and I showed some of the video of Samurai Priest Vampire Hunter. I keep hearing all this stuff about, well, I heard from one person that the only people who know about Samurai Priest Vampire Hunter are because of Jim in this audience. That's a lie. That's a lie. The movie existed back in 2009, 2010, and I'm going to prove to you that's not the case. It was released through the largest video rental chain, the only one that they only have one place. It's in Santa Monica, called Cinephile. And now they have a copy of the Samurai Priest. They have tons and tons of movies, probably 30 to 40,000 titles there that you can rent. And that happened last week. So I was talking to them and I said, well, what is the biggest company in the United States or world that has the most video rentals? Like, it has, just generally, what is the biggest? And somebody said to me, it's a place called Scarecrow Video, and it is gigantic. Now, let me share this with you if I could real quick, because this isn't necessarily, I just found this out. I was going to talk about it anyway, but I got to share this because I think this is pretty cool. Scarecrow Video is in Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, Seattle, Washington. My bad. Seattle, Washington, not Washington, D.C. Yeah, it wouldn't be there. It would be a place. So here is Scarecrow Video. And by the way, I want you to notice this real quick. Letterboxd. See Letterboxd at the end? See that right? Or here, their channel? See it down here? If you were to go to the Vinegar Syndrome website and look up Samurai Priest, there's probably 60 or 70 independent reviews. The only one that I know that's ever reviewed on there, that you have to purchase the movie to be able to review it, is Jeremy M. What's up, Jeremy M? I'm not sure if he's out there or not. And there's 67 or 70 verified purchase reviews with a 4.5, I think 4.4, 4.5 out of 5. So out of 67, one is from this community. I mean, and here's the other thing. If you go to Letterboxd and go to their review section, I don't think anybody, I've even ever discussed this, but Letterboxd has a giant review section. And there's been some bad recent reviews, and sometimes there's some good ones. Sometimes there's some Spanish ones, whatever. But the thing is, they got a giant review section. I don't think anybody from this community's ever been over there now. Now, there'll be some bad reviews now that I say it. But here it is. Look at the size of this place. This is probably the biggest rental store. It's kind of runs similar to Cinephile in the United States, maybe even the biggest video store in the world. Okay. It's called Scarecrow Video, Seattle, Washington. I mean, just kind of skipping through. I don't want to show too much of it. They got a Bigfoot section, and they got it by directors. And this is from Letterboxd. So this isn't just some small YouTuber. They got Letterboxd is a big website run off the movie TMDB, the movie internet database. But a pretty interesting thing. I don't know who these people are. I don't want to play their content overall, but I mean, it literally looks like a library. So I found out about this place, and I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. And I'm like, and don't forget, I have never spoken to them until today. Never, ever spoke to them. Didn't even know it existed till this past weekend. Okay. So I would like to share this with you. And I think that this is pretty interesting. And this goes against what some people are saying. Give me a second here. The website is scarecrowvideo.com. And by the way, even if you don't live in Seattle, Washington, they do a Netflix service where old school Netflix, where they'll mail you the disc. They'll mail you up to 5 discs. Giant. And I mentioned the other place, by the way, was 150,000. I'm sorry, 30,000. They have almost 156, 972,000 titles. Almost 157,000 titles. It's the biggest video store in the world. And it's like, well, why does that matter? Well, this just goes to prove it to you. Let's click the library. Let's click browse all. Like I said, I just found out about this week. I did not send them any title or anything, and I've already done this. So let's look it up. Samurai Priest Vampire Hunter. Okay. Let's see if this is in the biggest store that is. That is the title. Loading. Monkey. It is available to rent by mail. And here's the interesting thing. This place has both versions. It has the Live Evil unrated version from 2009, and it has the Samurai Priest version from, actually, it's 2023. They both exist there. One is a DVD. There it is. That's the only way it came out before. And one is a Blu-ray. They have both versions of the movie, even the obscure Live Evil one. So let's get into more information here. Samurai Priest Vampire Hunter, yada, yada, yada. You could rent it. It's available, rent by mail. And it tells you, this place is so fucking big, it tells you, like a library, where it is on the map. Isn't that nuts? Like they have literally have a map. Here it is. Now, I don't know if this is a vampire section or what have you, but you can see the information. There it is. So just like Kyle the Coyote and all that kind of stuff, these movies, like if you have movies that are just sitting around, like, or you created something, you don't want to just sit in a closet. You want it to be in libraries. You want people to, I didn't send them a copy. Now, was I at Cinephile and did I talk to them and got them a copy of it? Sure. But did I do this with the largest video store in the world? Absolutely not. People know the Mr. X. People know the movie. And you could say whatever you want to say about it, but let me tell you this. Jim, you promised that you would play the rest of the Ken Foray interview. Ken Foray, I heard that interview, the little bit that you played. You said weeks ago that you would play that on your channel. You said you would play the whole 14-minute interview. The little bit that I heard is no different than anything that I haven't discussed in the past. I don't recall hearing him say that I owe him or the production company owes him any money. See, here's what you want me to talk about because you don't want me to talk about this. You don't want me to talk about this. So I will talk about it, but not a problem. Well, here's the thing. He don't want to be part of this, just like everybody else in your family. And the thing is, if Ken Foray had a problem, a real problem, and wasn't getting paid residuals, which, by the way, we showed that he signed the back of the residual, if he wanted to get paid, why would he talk to you? He could just go and talk to the Screen Actors Guild. Speaking of the Screen Actors Guild, they have never called me. You remember you said you spoke to the New York Screen Actors Guild and they were going to call the Mr. X? They haven't. They haven't. So I think I'd pump the brakes on that. Let's not forget, no matter what you say, there is a great Hollywood Reporter article on Mark Terry. A great article. That's one of the highest ones, like Variety, Hollywood Reporter. That's one of the ones, right? Here's a really, you want to talk about reputation in a business? There's a really bad article about you. And even though I know that maybe 65 to 70% of it's bullshit, in your industry, which was private investigating, there's a really bad article about you in the Rolling Stone. Now, I don't agree with the article. And if there was any defamation out there, that would be the one that you would get them on. You know that Rolling Stone and the corporation that owns Rolling Stone certainly has a lot more money than the Mr. X does. If you say I'm a millionaire, which I'm not, I'd like to be, didn't hit the lotto. It's because of Barbara Buffalo. She won it. But here's the thing. They got a lot more money than me, and I guarantee you they got the insurance to pay for it. And they've been sued before. They've been sued before and lost. And you were handed all the information, and what did you do with that? Zero. Why is that being discussed? It's being discussed because of this. Coach! That's why that's being discussed. And that's not enough. It's interesting when you call somebody who's like the head person in charge of payroll, they don't know who you are. They talked to the general manager and they said on this show that you were no longer with the team. Even our Sports Central and a lot of those websites that are in arena football, they won't deal with you. You know, I'm meeting some people this week, and I'm not going to say in what department, but a very big job about working for the Mr. X. And we will continue to do that. What are you going to do about it? Nothing? What are you going to do? Call EcoSet? You're going to call up EcoSet? Well, the hardcore prank that will come on later is Mr. X made a call, and 2 can play at that game. We called 2. We'll see how that goes. Again, all of these calls, all of this stuff goes back to him not wanting you to talk about this. And by the way, let me just do it real quick if I could. I just as a matter of fact, because I think it's only fair to do this. I want to show you guys this. Here, I'm going to bring this up. Monkey, bring it up. There's probably going to be a commercial first. So I'm going to put this on mute, but I would like to bring this up because I want to show you something. When Jim was being manhandled for a minute, I want to show you something. I want to explain something to you. He's teaching people stuff all the time. I want to show this to you, if I could. Monkey, bring it up. You can bring it up, Monkey. Monkey, what's wrong with you? The monkey is the producer in the back who's supposed to be doing all this work, and he doesn't do it. He's lazy. But, okay, here we go. Ready? Ready? Oh, we're going to do it. Hold on. Let's see if we can, we'll get a song going. Okay, how about this? Let's see if I can find something. Let's do this. Here we go. Ready? This is how long a minute is. Look at how long this takes. Coach, come up here. Look at how long that minute is. Coach gets in the middle. That is 1 minute. That seemed like a long time, maybe not. Monkey, take that song down. That is a minute. That is a long time to have another man hold on to you. Now, if you're a man and you like another man, you're a gay man and that's your thing, God bless you. You need love. No problem. But if a man holds on to you and you're a tough guy and he's not a cop, you know that there's a real problem. There's a real problem. And the problem is, it's not really a problem, it's just the truth. You're not as tough as you thought that you were. And that woman, see, here's the thing. These people that you have coming into your show, Dale C. and Lips and Steffers, these are the degenerates that you kicked out. I heard Joy Perry was back. These are the people that you didn't want around. You didn't want them around. Now you do. Okay. And I know that Steffers doesn't like me. I know the reasons she didn't like me. A long time ago, she told Miss T she wanted me to come on her show and do an interview. And I'm like, well, the only thing that I'm going to be doing is bringing people to her and answering the same questions over and over and over again. Like, I hate to be a dick, but what does that do for me? I could just do my own show. I mean, here I am, 55 minutes in almost, 250 people watching me. Why would I go over there? And I would do it for friends or people who I'm cool with, like Johnny Yarborough. And Johnny Yarborough obviously has a lot more in the tank than her. I would do it for people I like. I like William at the Sci-Fi Center. He doesn't have a giant audience. I'll pop up over there. I won't even tell you guys about it because I don't want him to get harassed. So, it's just like, by the way, he has a completely different audience than over here. It's like recycling the same few people over and over again doesn't make a lot of sense. So there's that. 1 minute. Squirrel Salad says, I would love to see what kind of movie you could film in Montello. I think they filmed an X-Files episode out there. You're 100% correct. We talked about it a few times, Squirrel Sandwich. There is an episode directed by Vince Gilligan who did Breaking Bad with Bryan Cranston in it. It starts in Montello and it goes across the country, I think, to San Francisco. It's almost like Speed, where this guy's got Bryan Cranston. If he's got to keep the car going so fast or something bad will happen to him, like he'll die. And he doesn't look like he does in Breaking Bad. He's got like the chops, the sideburns and all that. And that episode is what got him into Breaking Bad. So there has been something filmed in Montello, and it was that episode. I mean, there's been a lot of, YouTuber stuff in there too. And then don't forget about Wells, which is right down the road from there, had the Joyride, the motel for Joyride. Remember Paul Walker and Steve Zahn? They played brothers in the movie and the CB and all that, Candy Cane and all that. That is in Wells, Nevada. We just covered that recently where they were trying to sell that shitty hotel. So anyway, there you go. That's right. Johnny, I missed something? No, I thought I did. I was doing my little bit. And I want to say thank you again. I think we are at 11 now. Let's back up to number 9. 8 is Miss Texas. 10, thank you, Miss Texas. Texas Granny. And look who's back in the house. Barbara Buffalo, a close, dear, personal friend of the Mr. X. Now, if you talk to Barbara Buffalo on the phone, and if you watch the Rumble thing, you always hear a beeping in the background. And I say, Barbara, what the fuck's going on? We've been talking a little bit more regularly for like the last 2 months, and I can't hear that fucking beeping's annoying me. Go put and I was being a dick. Go put a 9-volt battery in that smoke detector. What's the matter with you? And she's like, oh, that's not a smoke detector. It's something outside. I was like, oh, I felt like an asshole. It was making me go nuts, and I was just on the phone with her. I was like a dog whistle to the Mr. X, But she's over here now. Thank you, Barbara. Barbara, I got to be like somebody else. $4 after winning that $1 billion you won this past week? No, I appreciate anything. Thank you, Barbara. That's number 11. Melissa, a dear personal friend of the Mr. X. I forgot all about Montello. What an interesting place. I heard some rumors, Melissa, that the fact that, and I want to say that these are unverified, undocumented rumors, that there's a lot of illegal shenanigans that are running out of there. Somebody that that spoke to Jim a lot may have told this to me. Maybe he didn't. And if you get into the community of there, or if you're in a position where you can expose that, you could be unalived very quickly, from what I understand. Can't verify it. Don't want to get, I'm not saying it's 100, allegedly, yada, yada, yada. But this was told to me. Because when you start talking about, Melissa, you start talking about motives and what ifs and all this kind of stuff, that comes up as a serious reason. Knowing the inner workings of that place. I mean, God knows. I mean, does Ellen Berg know? I mean, she owned it, didn't she? Speaking of ownership, before I forget about it, Melissa, another close, because Melissa has been around a long time, cute dog. Another dear personal friend and former neighbor of the Mr. X, the Buss family. You remember like Dr. Buss, who owned the Lakers? You remember he had that daughter that was very hot, who owned the Lakers after he passed away? She actually dated Phil Jackson, Jeannie Buss. Well, they sold the majority of it a couple years ago, and they owned like 17.8%, let's just say 18% of the Lakers. And then it was sold again. Well, apparently the news is, former resident of Playa del Rey, just like the Mr. X, that the Buss family, Jeannie Buss specifically, has sold the final stake of the Laker. Now, this means the Laker, that's what I used to always say when they were on TV. Here's teams you don't want to bet on. Cowboys, Steelers, Dodgers, Lakers, Yankees. Like those are like the 5 mega teams that are like the hardest to handicap. You want to go handicap something, handicap like the Browns versus the Bengals, Giants versus Tampa or Miami or something like that, if they're playing. But yeah, Lakers, hardest team to bet on. Well, unless you're betting the over for Luka, because he's got, he'll just heist up. But here's the thing. It's going to be a new era for the Lakers. New ownership, a lot of new overall, just like here. Last 2 months. I mean, can you believe it's been 2 months since the OTT has ended? I've stayed true, and I've done 2 shows, and every once in a while, some mini shows every week. I've never missed. It's funny to hear, by the way, thank you so much to the Buss family. Great people. It's great to hear on Friday that Jim says he makes more money per hour than me. And then over the weekend proceeds to make like how much? 10, 12, 14 hours worth of content. Friday, I did 2 shows, but it was only 3 hours. How many hours did you do over the weekend? 10? 12? Well, I know why that was. It's because there were 5 overs, 12 unders, and 1 push so far in the NFL. That means 30% of the games have gone under the total. And let's just say, if you want to just say, maybe you bought some points. By the way, you're telling people you won on the Steelers game, the total was 40. Even if you bought 2 points, there were 37 points. That makes it 38. If you took the over, you lost. I follow it too. I bet on it too, just not that much. We'll get into that later. We're at number 12 on the super stickers, and it is our special friend in Australia. I don't know if she's got a native person down there. I don't know what they call native people in Australia. $10 in Australia. Jungle Jane is here. What's up, Jungle Jane? Is it hot there? No, it's not hot there because dummy Mr. X, it's their winter. And they're like on the upside down. You know how like people say like the flat earth? The United States is on the top side of the flat earth, and Australia is like underneath it. It's on like the bottom side of the flat earth. I don't know if you know that or not. That's what I heard, allegedly. Yeah, a lot of conspiracy theories going on. Remember when during the pandemic, like if you were to rattle off conspiracy theories, people were getting struck over that. What's up to the evil Empress, another dear personal friend? Speaking of Vegas, speaking of Nevada, speaking of nuclear testing, and maybe growing an eye in your shoulder, it's Steffi, evil Empress. She's over here now. That's right. That's right. Real numbers. Yeah, you never know. Maybe, maybe not. But I can tell you that the 13 super stickers are real, and we're coming in again. It is another person. It is that same person. It's a special friend. It is Miss Texas Granny. I gotta give the right credit to people. Texas Granny. That's right. I'm trying to get them as they come in instead of just doing one giant chunk of them, So thank you. Tingle Booze is here. What's up? We're on the side of the clinging for the dear life. You know what I heard, Tingle Booze? I heard a lady. She's English. Okay. Yeah, I know you're from England. Don't file a restraining order on me because I said you're from like a country that's about as big as, like Philadelphia. Or Pennsylvania, that is, sorry. And and she says that people, when they hear her accent, this lady, I heard her online talking about this, You got such an interesting accent. And I'm sure that when you hear the Mr. X's accent in England or in Australia, by the way, I was mentioning different English-speaking countries. I forgot Wales. Forget about Anthony Hopkins, great actor. I wish I had an accent that sounded like Liam Neeson. Jim, you said you want to sue me? You said you're going to sue me? This is Jim talking to me? Monkey? Good luck. Good luck. Anyway, so Tingle Booze, this lady, she says every time she goes to order let's say Starbucks, for example. Every time she orders a Starbucks, she uses an American accent. Now, I can't do the English accent. I can't do the Australian accent. I can't do any accent. I don't try. I do some bad gay accents and stuff like that. But, overall, I can't really do much. But, so she said, and I wonder if you do that too. Like, if you come into the United States, do you just do an American accent so people just say, oh, hey, so where are you from? You sound like you're from England, Now, here's the crazy thing, and I know that this exists to an extent in every country, but, man, there's so many accents, American accents, in the United States. Like, for example, there's a lot of accents in New Orleans. Like, there's a Metairie accent, where it almost sounds like a little bit like a New York accent. And then there is the, New Orleans accent, the one that you would think of, like the patois close-looking accent. Rainbow Melon, I don't know what's going on. But I do see this. Rainbow Melon coming in at number $13.49. You at work, Rainbow Melon? What's going on there? And speaking of number 15, it will be the gay Johnny Yarborough. There he is. He's feeling better. He's making money. Johnny, did you lose those benefits yet? I bet not. I think that every time the benefits thing are mentioned, where's my man at? Oh, I threw him away. I was going to start doing the holding thing again. I threw him over there. That's the reason for that. So, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Tingle Booze. We'll answer some questions. I'd be happy to answer the questions that come in the chat. Hey, guys, didn't you guys go out to Montello? You got a video that I remember seeing a couple years ago. I have never been there. Jim has never been there. There's a guy, I'm not going to say his name, but a real good guy who travels around the country. And I think it was the last time Betty Hayward was ever on the show. It was on the Rumble channel. And the guy got some footage there. So I have never been there. I've never been in the state of Utah, even though that I know Montello's in Nevada, but I've never been into that northeast corner of Nevada, Jackpot, Montello, or crossing the border. I've never been to Salt Lake City, never stepped foot in Utah at all. So I have never been there. Miss Texas coming in. She's number 16. I appreciate. Thank you, Miss Texas, for keep coming in. These people who keep coming in over and over again. Also, I have a pretty severe Boston accent. Yeah, we spoke. Yeah, I got ears. I didn't even realize I had one until I started traveling. Now, I was born in Ohio. Ohio has that kind of regional newscaster dialect. And, when I'm on here, I don't really talk like how I talk here elsewhere. I'm trying to get my diction very clean and crisp. So, I was at the Raising Cane's the other day, and I was actually there with Mark. Mark and I went to Raising Cane's, and I was standing behind him, almost like a little birdie on his shoulder. And they said, "What's your name for the order?" And he said, "Mark." His name's Mark. And then I'm sitting there waiting for the orders because, the Mr. X paid for it. Mark doesn't have any money. And they go, "Okay, we got an order for Park. Park, can you come up and pick up your order?" And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck's name is Park? Who's ever heard of a first name Park? What an idiot. But there's definitely an LA accent too. I don't think there's really an accent in Nevada, like a Vegas accent. Never really heard that. But what a fucking idiot. So here's this. Gotcha. Yeah, I remember he had Ty Corbin and one of the brothers that work at the bar. I don't think Ty Corbin was in that video, if that's the same one we're discussing, but we talked to Ty Corbin not too long ago on the 3-year anniversary of Mr. X News Network. It was a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. There is an interview on that show with Ty Corbin. Coming in, number 17, it's Kathy Fagan. She's back in the house. She says, 2 Thessalonians 3:10. Not sure what that means. What does that mean? Okay. What does that mean? Oh, you mean salty. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I still have something of salty on this StreamYard. Me talking to Salty Pancakes.
And how friendly Jim has been with you. I think
Friendly?
there.
This guy wanted to. This guy.
Yeah, they remember that? I don't want to play that whole thing, but remember me talking to Salty Pancakes and Salty Pancakes alleged Jim said something? Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I still have that on here. Crazy is that, right?
And how friendly Jim has been with
We'll leave that there. Thank God that guy disappeared. That guy was very annoying. A lot of those guys like Fumble Nuts and Salty Pancakes and Doug Hutton. You know, you think about that earlier Melissa crew. You know, they're long, long gone. I mean, maybe they're around, but they're not in our sphere anymore. I also saw something recently that Queen Bee got like a week strike. I didn't even realize she was around anymore. Came up on my thing. Yeah, it got pretty wild. I agree with you. That drama was out of hand. You know, I think that's still one of the worst things I've ever seen was, you know, reading off the Social Security numbers pretty bad. You know, pretty damn bad. You know, there you go. Thank you so much. There she is, 2:45. And we're an hour and 10 minutes in. We're doing okay. Moving on. Mentioned the Bus family. You know, there's another weird thing about it. And again, I'm going to preface this with I don't know. Okay. Have you heard about this Hayden Pantier girl? She's 36. She died. What the fuck happened? It's all over the news. She was an actress that was in Heroes in Nashville. Because this girl, and here's the rumor that's going around. Let's just clearly say this is an unfounded, unverified theory or rumor. I'm not saying this is accurate. But this Hayden Pantier, am I saying her name right? She had recently been open about her personal life and her child stardom and it struggles with addictions in her May 2026 memoir book, which is called This Is Me, A Reckoning. She was talking about when she was a younger actress and some shenanigans that went on. Then the sudden news triggered immediate social media speculation and unverified theories that, quote unquote, Hollywood may have done something to her. I don't know. I mean, we saw Rob Reiner's son murder somebody. And, you know, I don't even know if he's in jail, but he hasn't even been convicted yet. But then again, you never really know. Now, she was in South Carolina and not in Hollywood. So it's just very, very odd. Hey, what's up to Lashes and Tats? She is in the house as well. Jeremy M is here. The numbers are going up. The old school people are coming back. So Jeremy M, I talked about it earlier in the show. You got to check out scarecrowvideo.com, Jeremy M. They are the biggest video store, rental store, kind of like the old Netflix in the world. And they got both of the Blu-rays, not that you need either one of them because you got them both, Blu-ray and DVD, but they got a bunch of other titles. I know you're a cinephile like me. Check that out. I might try to do some interviews with them, but, you know, I talked to their manager today, and he's like, could you write this in an email? And I'm like, I'm doing it about it today on a show. I don't want to write it out. He's like, well, then that's really it. Okay. You know, whatever. You know, you're going to get more out of it than me. You know, that's how I look at it. But anyway, so getting back to this Hayden Pantier lady, you know, it's common with sudden celebrity tragedies involving younger stars, and 36, I would say, is younger, with troubled past, that these online conspiracy theories, especially when it's like the P3 thing in Hollywood, allegedly, platforms like TikTok and Facebook, they float around with these baseless claims that she was, quote unquote, silenced, and that her death was suspicious due to things that might have been known or written about in the entertainment industry that she did. I don't know, man. It's just unfortunate that you see somebody that young pass away who's, you know, at her point, she's kind of a made man. You know, she could work for the rest of her life. And it's just unfortunate that that's not going to happen for her, you know. And she was in South Carolina. She was not in Hollywood, you know, when this happened. So I don't know. Yeah, just you don't know. So you don't want to say for sure. Now, I did promise an Adele update. I got a little Adele interview here. So I'm going to bring this up. Now, this is a few minutes, so I'm going to come off camera why this is here. For people who don't know, everybody loves Adele. She has been in the emergency room and in the hospital for a couple weeks. That's why she's been gone, not because there's any issue. She's just been gone because she's been sick. That happens sometimes. People actually have lives and work and have jobs and stuff like that and have family, and they're not continuously on here. And that's why I try to go live like twice a week and then maybe pop up on Johnny's show. I'm not going to pop up every time I need $20 for a cheapo parlay. That's ridiculous. You know, I come on here a couple times a week, and if you don't catch me live, you know, like today's earlier, then maybe you catch me on later on in a week or something, you know, something like that. I mean, that's fine. So, Monkey, bring this up. Bring down that backdrop. We did have an interview with Adele. She tells a little story. She talks. People say the Mr. X talks a lot. Well, Adele loves to talk too, and I'm glad that she is talking because it's nice to hear from her. This is my little interview about her getting, and I told her I'm recording it, yada, yada, yada. She's aware, but she wanted to give this little message out to you guys. Here it is.
I've been sick for the last few weeks. I was sick at home for a week before I even went to Emerge. I went to Emerge.
What is Emerge? I don't understand.
Emergency.
Oh, okay. Oh, duh.
Yeah. But it's just so bad. Like, I haven't been to the hospital in like a long, long time where I had to have a stay. There are people lined up on stretchers in the hallway, everything. So when you go into Emerge, it's like, you know, where you have like your normal seats, right?
Right.
You get checked in, but behind all that, there's like the blue area, the purple area, the red, the orange. And so you get filtered into one of those areas, right, where you have a bed.
Okay.
Right, like a room.
Yeah.
Okay. I lucked out. Okay, so I got back there right away. I had like a proper room, even though it was still an emergency technically, right? I wasn't on a hospital floor. But some people, or a lot of people, had to have, you know, where there's a curtain that wraps around.
Yes.
With no privacy. Yeah. At least I had a sink. I mean.
Well, hold on. I'm out of the loop. What happened to you? I don't even know what's going on.
Okay. Well, I've said this before in chat, but I mean, so 18 years ago, I contracted necrotizing fasciitis. You know what that is?
No.
It's a flesh-eating disease.
Okay, it sounds familiar. Yes. Now that you say that.
Yeah, it's deadly. Anyways, I caught that at a water park.
Wait a minute. You caught that at a water park? They have water parks in Canada? When are those open, for like a week or two out of the year? How the fuck do you catch a flesh-eating disease in a water park? How's that even possible? What the fuck is going on here? I don't know. Very odd. And this has affected her for a long time, too. Yeah, I'll give you a couple stories here in Jeremy M. here in a minute.
And so I almost died. I had to be airlifted to, a hospital, all that. That was 18 years ago. But then one of the side effects from that is this thing called cellulitis.
Okay.
Which is it's like it could go to a blood infection. Thankfully, I haven't had.
I thought cellulitis was like that fat stuff that you might get like behind your legs and underneath your ass. That's what I heard.
That too often. Mine are usually just topical.
Yeah.
But sometimes some episodes are worse than others, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, this was a doozy.
So you were in there for like a week or two, or what?
I was sick at home for a week. I was fucking delirious. Like, I couldn't eat. I thought I was drinking a lot, but apparently I wasn't drinking enough, and my kidneys were like shut down pretty much.
Wow.
And then they put me on an IV, so I got that right back up, like, fairly quickly.
An IV of alcohol
And,
or water?
water.
Oh, okay. Got confused.
Water. And I haven't had a drink in like even like I don't know, like a month maybe.
I thought maybe you had an IV of like
that.
martinis going into your veins or something like that.
I'm not Keith Richards yet. Okay.
Okay, good. All right, well, good. You're doing better because we wondered what happened to you, but sometimes with all the shenanigans going on, people just want to take a break from it, so I can understand that too. But
No, I was listening the other night when I was in the hospital. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Like when you're in the emerge part, everything is shitty. Like the it's all polyester shit, right?
right.
Everything is just cheap. But then the last day I got up to this beautiful room, full length windows overlooking the pond with the ducks and everything, and even the quality of the sheets, the quality of the nightgown is just so much better. But let's face it, nothing beats being at home, right?
Right,
Your
that's
own
right.
bed.
Well, I mean, is that
And I'm
because
so fucking-
is that because of the the Canadian healthcare system? Like everything is open, so it like because that doesn't sound like how it works here.
It's fuck. It never used to be like this. It never used to be. I mean, not that I recall. It's just like it's unfucking believable. You know how long the wait was in like when you first go into emerge? They have a chart like up on top, and it says your hour of wait is 7 hours. Yada yada yada. They have.
What if you have like an artery cut or something like that?
What's that?
What if you have like your like an emergency where like your
Okay,
artery's
you go
cut?
right-
You need
you go
attendance right
right
now.
to. You go right to, and it helps going to. First time I went, like the first time we took me in, Johnny drove, right?
Yeah.
Which was fine because okay. But then the second time we had to call an ambulance, and generally if you go in the ambulance, you're going to. I got put, and they thought I had a blood clot. So I got put right to the red room. I had a doctor there who was the meanest fucking doctor I've ever had in my life. I was talking, only answering the questions he was asking me, and he flicked me like he flicked me. Like, you know how you flick a bug?
Yeah.
He flicked me. Physically, he flicked me, and he looked at my husband and he said, "You." In other words, me shut up, him talk.
Wow.
I've never had a doctor be that fucking rude. I'm trying to find. I can't remember his name. So fucking rude. Yeah.
Well,
But
the most important thing is you sound good. You sound healthy. Johnny just had gallbladder surgery. I mean, you don't sound bad.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm every day because I also hadn't slept for like 3 weeks, right?
Wow.
I mean, I was a basket case. But now I'm sleeping. Well, they had to
Good.
sedate me pretty hard the last time, and I slept 26 hours my last day in the hospital.
Lazy.
26 hours. And every night now I'm sleeping good. So every day I'm getting stronger and better, right? So
26
today was a good
hours.
day, yeah.
Wow, I don't think I've ever slept that long. You know what that reminds me of? Sleeping 26 hours. It's like Jim after he would lose, like in sports betting, he would be like, "I'm tired. I'm tired. I need to lay down." Like 15 hours later, he'd wake up after losing like 1,500. But that's a different story.
Yeah. That sounds more like depression, sort of.
I'm tired now. It's called a stupor.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Fucking Cubbies didn't win. Anyway, but here's this. In all seriousness, you're doing okay. People, I'm sure, glad to hear from you. That's why I wanted to record this. So, in case you're not around later tonight. But
yeah, I'm sure I'll be asleep because I've been outside sitting by the pool all day, which is a lot for me right now. So I'm going to be toast. Yeah, at about 7 or 8, I'll be, exhausted.
all right, well, good. I mean, well, I'm glad that you called me. I'm glad that we can hear from you, and I'm glad that you're alive.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It's good to be alive. Good to be alive.
And what does your husband say? Like, is he like watching over you or what?
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. No, he's great at it.
Did this make you lose a lot of weight?
Best. What's that?
Did you lose a lot of weight from being in a hospital?
Yeah. I'm gonna look so good.
Oh,
Oh my god.
The new weight loss thing is there.
Even if you saw me right now, like I look pretty damn good just with my makeup on and stuff now,
Yeah.
But you wait. Yeah, I'm gonna look so good. Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna wear tight jeans and a tight t-shirt. Yeah.
oh, there we go. Oh, good. All right. Well, good. Well,
Yeah.
don't come back, get healthy, and then
Thank
when
God.
and check in with me when you're, back to 100%.
Will do. Okay, we'll do.
All right, get out of here.
Okay, take care.
All right, God bless. There is Adele. There is Adele. I told you I had the interview. There is the dear friend Adele. You heard it here. Now, she wasn't going to be around. She's like, I think I'm going to go back to bed. I'm tired. That was taped. Obviously, I don't know. You guys are. I'm kind of trying to get everything everybody's saying up. So if she watches this tomorrow or in the future, that she sees that everybody's wishing her well and saying, I hope you're doing okay. So yeah, we do hope you're doing okay, Adele. Thank you for that. Thank you for, these people are going through medical stuff and they, Johnny talks about it wide open and people just like, they don't mind speaking about it. And not everything is always content, but that's kind of how it works sometimes. And I'm glad that we can at least check in with her. So let's see what else we got. What else I missed. Let's go back a little bit to Johnny Yarborough, $2 so we can catch back up. There is Miss Texas. There is Kathy Fagan. Thank you. And then Jeremy M is number 18. Mr. X, this is $5. Thank you, Jeremy. Do you have any weird stories when you were trying to cast for movies? Hollywood seems like a labyrinth of craziness. So the stories that I have about movies in my, that I had Maria Kanellis, who was the cover. I've talked about some of these things, but I'll try to condense them in one story. She was on the last WWE diva to be on the cover of Playboy. I mean, gorgeous woman, right? Now she's had kids, and granted, this was 2011, so it's 15 years ago. And by the way, that footage from 2011 is part of the new film. I wanted to shoot something that would be 15 years old. I said 10. It's going to be 15. That's gorgeous footage. I mean, she looked great in that. It's about 2 hours worth of footage, about 8 minutes cut together. So people would ask me all the time, Jeremy, and like, are you hooking up? You hooking up with her? I mean, you got a Playboy playmate. You have the Playboy. And I'm like, no. Like, I want her in the movie. I remember I had a different girlfriend at the time of 2007. And I remember having a handful. I'm not going to say which one. Well, I'll say which one. I don't give a fuck. There's a porn star out there who was named Cassie Cortland. And real attractive woman, right? And she wanted to, I called up the agency because I wanted to hire a couple adult actresses because there was going to be like this topless scene of like people serving drinks without their girls serving drinks with their boobs hanging out type thing. Nothing that bad. And so she says, like, well, who do you have there? I'm talking to the agency. Who do you have there that is, also can act, do a few lines, not lines of cocaine, but like lines of movies, like dialogue. And she goes, oh, Cassie can. And I'm like, are you Cassie? And she goes, yeah, I really want to do it. We always want somebody who wants to do it. And if she can get naked, even better. And so she comes in and does the scene, does a really good job, and I think she was, like I said, just running the like management part of that agency at that point. She does a great job. She's good. She does excellent. And she's retired from it now. And I'm not trying to, she's a nice lady. She's a mom and all that. And I don't think she's hiding from that, but she's moved on from it, from that industry. But like I said, nice lady. I'm actually still in touch with her, and she was always a tinier girl, but she was one of those people that like when she got older and had the kids, she got the big fake boobs and like got in the gym, and she's in great shape now. She does modeling for like wedding outfits, like older brides, like brides who might be getting married for the second time. But let me get to the story. Let me answer your question. Yeah, there you go. So what happens is I'm driving to the set the next weekend and I get a call. Phone rings. I'm in the car. I'm on Toluca Lake, Riverside Drive. Like I would be going east, heading towards the Mel's Diners or Patty's, if you know that area. And I get a phone call, and I'm driving the car, and it's that chick. And she goes, hey, what are you doing? And I go, I don't know, going to set. She's like, what are you doing later tonight? And I was like, I don't know. We'll probably be wrapping up the film. What's going on with you? I know it's her number because I have her number in there from the agency. And like my girlfriend's sitting right next to me, like literally next to me. Probably could hear the phone. I mean, it's not like I'm hiding anything. She goes, well, I mean, if you want to hang out later. And I'm like, and I say, you know who this is, right? And she goes, oh, yeah, yeah. I go, I'm driving a set. She goes, oh, yeah, I know. That's great. But we can hang out afterwards. I said, this is Mr. X. Now I said my real name, which obviously none of you know. Xavier Lee. This is Xavier Lee. What do you know? And then I don't know if the girlfriend said something or she go, oh, I called the wrong person. Like she knew I wasn't, partying with her or whatever. Like I wouldn't have done that anyway. I'd rather always have people in the film than be able to use that power to my advantage. Like hook up with a chick because you can get them in the Screen Actors Guild. Have never done that. Would never do that. And so I said, she's like, oh, and then she played off like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, oh, I thought I was calling somebody else. I go, oh, that's okay. It's cool. It's not a big deal. But yeah, we're just working on the film. And then tomorrow I'm going to be packing shit up and, dropping the film off. Like, I don't have time to hang out and party. And by the way, if you look her up and do what you want, she looked great. I mean, at that time frame, if you look up Cassie Cortland in like 2007, she's like on the cover of Hustler and stuff like that. I mean, you don't get on like by being a slob. So, I never did that, but I did, over the years, I have heard Jeremy M because I was, acquainted and friends with a lot of stunt guys. They would use stunt girls to hook up and promise them things. Have I ever seen anything that's hardcore? I don't do drugs, so I'm not in those scenes. And I've kind of always, I've never been on a studio set. Whatever, motherfucker. You've never been in the NFL. I've been closer to the top than you have, believe me. So the studio took my film. Did the NFL take the EIFL? I don't think so. That cost tens of thousands of dollars. We'll get into that later. But I've never really seen anything that's really hardcore. I've heard of stunt guys treating stunt women incorrectly and, oh, that guy's a perv or this guy tried to hit on me. I've never heard of anybody. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've never seen anything with like the P3 thing. That's never happened in front of me. I've never seen a hardcore drug on any set that I've been on. I've had people ask and say, hey, is there, this drug on set? And I'm like, whoa, you're talking to Mr. Straight Edge here. So not really. I've never seen that. I think that's something that people who are kind of down with that do behind the scenes, not necessarily in the open as much. And I'm just not in that crowd anyway, as far as like the partying crowd. So it wouldn't have really ever happened in front of me. I do remember Victor Salva, who is obviously the convicted P3 from Jeepers Creepers and Powder. And I probably have told this story before too, that he was having Jeepers Creepers. I think he got thrown out of some state and they were doing Jeepers Creepers 3 in Baton Rouge. And I remember my agent wanted me to go audition for it. I'm like, I wouldn't audition for it. I wouldn't work with this motherfucker. No way. Like I don't need $1,000 that bad. Fuck that. And then, and I knew how it would work in later on. Now I have had people ask me, I had one producer ask me one time years ago if I wanted to be, you ever heard of the Emmanuel series? They're kind of like softcore porn. And I probably have told some of these stories on the OTT, and I don't know if you were there or not, Jeremy, but oh yeah, we have a thing that's like kind of the Sixth Sense. Like you're a ghost, but then the girlfriend in the scene doesn't know that you're a ghost. And then, you're in pretty good shape. Would you like to be in the scene? And I'm like, is it acting or is it porn? Well, it's softcore. And then when I heard, well, you could put a sock on. And a sock on what? On my yak? A sock on my yak? What are we talking about here? I'm not going to fucking do that. Could you imagine if I was in some like softcore porn scene, like dry humping some chick, what that would be like now? Good thing. I said, no, fuck no. I remember I was in the El Cortez. No. It was in El Cortez. Yeah, I was in the El Cortez when I turned that down. I said, I'm not going to. Guy goes, I'll just give you the role. You don't have to audition. I said, what do I have to audition for? What, putting a sock on it? Get the fuck out of here. So I've never seen, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I'm not saying I haven't, doesn't exist. I have been invited to go to the Playboy Mansion and I kick myself for not going. I had a buddy that had tickets to go like watch a Super Bowl party there. And I was like, kind of want to watch a Super Bowl party at my house. I don't want all these people I don't know around me. But I wish I would have done it just to say I did do it. I think it was the year Eli Manning won a Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if I've told that story about the sock and the dong and all that kind of stuff, but like, yeah, you don't have to put it in. It could just be like dry humping. And I said, what the, could you, like Stallone has that Italian Stallion one. Could you imagine if I had that out there on me? Could you imagine if Watcher Crazy or Leanne had that? I mean, I don't care. I've shown my ass in movies before. I don't give a fuck. But, like dry humping somebody. And I don't know, like, what if you get there and the chick isn't very good looking? You know what I mean? It's not a Salma Hayek. Like all of a sudden you're willing to jump in the scene if it's a Salma Hayek in 25 at age 25. But, somebody like, what if they have like one giant eyebrow? The joke's on you. So, I mean, that's about as close as I've ever gotten. I've been invited by stunt guys to go to Tijuana, and they all go and do their partying, and I've never done it. And I believe the reason they do that is because they want to have dirt on each other. They're all married. They all have girlfriends. I just, I'll go down there to bet on sports, but I'm not going to go down there and hit that Adelitas up, as they call it. Fuck that. So, got 19 superstar. I hope that answers that question. I kind of went long-winded, but no, I've never seen. There is craziness. There are a lot of grifters, people. That's my big thing. People who say they're going to get things done, but they don't. There's nobody out there, and this includes Ken Foray, that says that they weren't paid by me. That's a fact. And if they say something else, I could prove them wrong with a payroll stub. Jeremy M. coming in again. Thanks for the info on Scarecrow video info. I haven't heard of them before. I didn't either. And now there's going to be some rumor that I sent them the disc and this and that. That's not true. That's not true. So there's your story. Pretty crazy, right? Dry humping in the pool and get a flesh-eating virus. Okay, now the jokes are coming out about the Adele. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. So, moving on here, let's see what we got here. Bus family, I've talked about that. I got to share something, but before I share my last little piece of news, I do want to get, scarecrowvideo.com. I want to talk about this briefly, and I said that I would bring this up now, that I guess Jim had some discussion that is utterly ridiculous, saying on Sunday that he spoke to an attorney about defamation. Okay. I don't know too many attorneys that, even if you pay them, that will speak to you on Sunday, but it's possible. My question is, if you were interested in a defamation suit, Jim, why didn't you do that with Rolling Stone? They got a lot more money, like I said earlier in the show. You could have got them easily. Jim didn't sue, or he didn't even do anything about the Rolling Stone attorney. And here's what I would say, like I said earlier in the show. I guarantee you Jim won't say this, just like he's always said with Leanne. Jim, who's your attorney? I got 2 attorneys. I said it earlier. Who's your attorney? So I ended up talking to Mr. Rule today. And I actually floated to him, and I told him I was going to talk about this. Jim is saying he is going to sue me for defamation because he claims, and this is me talking to him, that I perjured myself in court by telling the judge the main reason I stopped working with him, and the reasons around it is because due to the gambling addiction. And yada, yada, yada. Now, let's not forget, Mr. X is saying this now. Mr. X is a character. There was no court reporter. So you're going to have a very hard time verifying if the Mr. X actually can. You have to prove that was said in court. Then you have to prove that it's not true. And what Mr. Rule said is, I know how you know him. He's going to try to rattle you. And I go, so what's your advice legal wise? He goes, none. I say, just ignore his nonsense. In order to sue for defamation, there would have to be several elements met. One of which is it must be a false statement. The other would be damages. Well, he said he's making more money, and it's not a false statement. Jim, you know as well as I did, and I want you to go take this at 1 hour and 38 minutes and 30 seconds. I was on the phone with my mom. Tud, it was a speakerphone phone call. Tud was on in the background. Let's start it over. I was on the phone with my mom on speakerphone. In the background was Tud. This is about 2 months ago. He clearly stated in the background that the reason that all these issues are happening is because Jim has a gambling addiction. He has a problem. And if I were to go around the Dr. Bailouts, the different people who have been around you from college and high school and this and that, and just in general, family members, everybody would say the same thing. Everybody would say the absolute same thing. See, my question is, if you're saying I got hundreds of thousands of dollars, where's your money from the OTT? Where's your 20 grand from you know who? You're making a lot of money with these 140 people that you say that are members, and only 31 of them are gifted. You haven't lost anything. You can't prove anything. But I can prove via a lot of people that you do have, in my opinion, an addiction. Now, do you have to go to Gamblers Anonymous or be part of, Gamblers Anonymous to have an addiction? No, you don't. I'm allowed to have an opinion. And I would like you to see you say who your attorney is and see how you've lost money. There's no question in the world that during this streaming time, the number one thing that has cost you the most money is Candace Cooley in that Rolling Stone article. Even handing you the keys to that, you have done nothing to those people except talk about what you're going to do, which you did talk a lot. You did talk a lot. You can't prove that you don't. Well, here's the interesting thing. The Mr. X you called EcoSet, Mr. X called Hollywood Casino today. And we had a little phone call. And apparently, Jim, you've been there. They know who you are there. I talked to security there. They're aware of who you are. I got the phone call recorded. See, here's the thing. It's very interesting that you talk about this. Let's go through some of the information here. This, by the way, this whole new thing that Jim's talking about, that he's going to sue for defamation and have a lawsuit, is all because he doesn't want you to see the Lips video. He doesn't want to see him looking like a coward. So he's giving new information. Here's the great thing that Rumble video did. It did three things to you and Lips. Lips is likely gone from Jim's. She won't be back over there now. If she would have taken that down and not made that public, if they were still cool. That's my opinion. That's what I think. It also, number two, proved that Lips was a liar. Talk about Facebook IMs between her and Barbara Buffalo. Go look at the Rumble at Mr. X TV on Rumble. Go look at the Rumble. It's already there. It proves that Lips was the one who was lying, and Lips was the one who was being two-faced, not Barbara Buffalo. And Texas Granny and Barbara Buffalo are cool. Lips was the one that was showing photographs of people, not Barbara Buffalo. Barbara Buffalo never even watched that video that Lips was sending around to people until recently, until everybody else saw it. And the video that Lips made public, not me, she made public, that's number three. Lips is gone from Jim's. Lips has proven once again that she's a two-faced liar, and Lips's video of Jim is made public. That's what Jim doesn't want. Jim's saying he's going to sue me in court. Jim, there's no stenographer. Mr. X is a character. Good luck proving that one, brother. Jim would have to prove that he isn't a gambler, and I can prove easily that he was. And I talked about when I was speaking with my mom and leaving the OTT 2 months ago, when Tud said all this is due to his gambling addiction. We'll just have him come in to this quote unquote court case. Sure. Jim, it's interesting is You talk about having business issues and about if a person's parents were paid for the opening scene. Nobody was paid for the opening scene except for the cinematographer and the person who owed the property. Those are the only two. It was made to get more money. Let's talk about the gigantic, colossal failure of the EIFL, the Mahoning Valley Hitmen, the one that you did up there in that Thunderdome, in that Quonset hut or whatever the fuck it was, that cost Tud tens of thousands of dollars. Working for free and being in a movie that's, what, almost 20 years later is still out there and earning money? Or costing your own father tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, not on that game, but just overall. The EIFL was a giant, colossal failure. That was the one Jim was going to get, what's that kid's name? Maurice Claret on. All it did was cost his father money. Jim talks about having issues in business. Yeah, you cost your dad. I never cost my parents tens of thousands of dollars on any movie. And Jim, you want to talk about restraining orders? Anybody can file a restraining order at any time. There's no restraining order between me and Jay Warfel. His wife tried to fill one, but tell me if this sounds familiar. Never met her in person, and it was thrown out. Sound familiar? Don't you have one on you with Carrie Buck down in Hillsborough County? Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to take the time and dig into it if it exists or if it doesn't exist. I know that it was filed, but even it being filed is just proof that anybody can file these things, and a lot of them don't have merit. I've never had anybody who has worked for me, and Jay's wife didn't work for me, ever file a restraining order on me. That's a lie. Jim talks about this, this other stuff, and talks about business partners and all this kind of stuff. Business partners? Jim, what about the Rolling Stone article? Regardless of how much we want to say it's wrong or right, man, that thing is out there, and it has nothing to do with me. We talked about Ken Foray already. He said he wasn't owed money. He never said he was owed money. Why don't you play the rest of that interview? We showed the checks. Jim talks about what I did for 2 months. Let's talk about what he's done in the last 2 months. How he's going to sue to make all this money. I don't know if he's making money or if he's not making money. Jim, let me give you a quick little hint about the last 2 months. My YouTube here has nothing to do with Thorium-230. Has nothing to do with it. In the last 2 months, anything that's been stated has nothing to do with that company. And you might want to make sure if that production insurance even existed anymore. The main reason for that production insurance to exist, E&O insurance, was because of you. Are you sure that it exists anymore, or is the policy canceled? Why would I need a policy if you're not around? That's the whole reason it was done. Jim has done horrible things to me. He's harassed guests. He called my girlfriend's parents, read out phone numbers all the time on people. I didn't call Ronald. Violently threatened me. I've never done that to him. Said he would steal my next film. If that's not business interference, I don't know what is. He called up EcoCast. He calls up any place I go to. Well, I heard from someone today at Hollywood Casino. Heard something about something that happened over there. And Jim, you could do the same thing. You could do the pranks. You could do the calling of the Mr. X. And most people would just say, Mr. X, just be done with it. Don't get into it. Well, ironically, hold on one second. Jim, you're calling people. We're going to call people. You're going to do something. We're going to do something. Just like you used to say, you were going to, the haters do something to me, I'm going to stick it back to them. Well, you called up EcoSet, and what did you say happened to them? Well, you made up a lie? Well, apparently, somebody called up Hollywood Casino, and apparently, or somebody I could speak to about an incident that has come up. that something you can help me with?
Just a moment, while I transfer you.
Okay. So apparently something happened with you in that casino. Is that true? And now security knows about it? Now, is this just a hardcore prank or is it true? I don't know. And for people who don't know, this is the casino that Jim frequents, or at least did in the past, and has lost a lot of money at. Let's see what, you're doing pranks. Well, we're doing pranks, right? Let's see what happens with Hollywood Casino. Now, you can see that's a 12-minute call.
Introducing Pen Play, Pen Entertainment.
It's a 12-minute call. We're going to play a lot of this. You're not going to hear too much skipping through this where you only hear like a minute or two. You're going to hear a lot of it. Now, there might be a little skipping just to get off this elevator.
Games, horse racing,
now,
sports betting.
Let's skip ahead a little.
To a whole new world.
Thank you for holding. You're through to security.
Okay, sounds good.
How can I help you?
Hey, Holly, this is, I'm calling Hollywood Casino in Austintown. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, just want to double check I got the right number. My name is Xavier. I got a weird incident. I was in town visiting some family. There's a guy that comes in there a lot. It's kind of, I don't want to say a local celebrity, but he's kind of known in town. He bets a lot of sports, and he was doing some weird stuff in there, and I just kind of wanted to report it anonymously to security to make sure that he doesn't do anything like this again. Are you familiar with a guy named James Terry, Jim Terry? He comes in there a lot. He bets on sports.
Sportsbook bet. Jim or James Terry?
Yeah. I know he comes in there a lot. I know he... Go ahead.
The Terry, his last name?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the situation?
I mean, you can verify. I mean, I've seen him in there before. You could verify that he comes in there, correct? I mean...
Yes.
Okay, so you...
Yes, I mean, he probably has... We have his name, I'm sure, somewhere.
So have you met him yet? He would talk about... He would probably talk about being an indoor and arena football kicker, and he's probably 6'3", but he's a little bit chubby. He's bald head. He wears a hat a lot. He always bets overs. Okay. Well, the point is, he was in there, and he does streaming, different streaming stuff, and he's done streaming around the property and so forth. And he's exposing himself to people. Are you aware of this?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So I just want
inside the building or outside?
Inside the building,
Allegedly.
in the bathrooms and stuff, and he like in the sports book and stuff. I'm like, the reason I'm calling is I'm shocked you haven't heard of this before, or somebody else hasn't caught you. But like, kind of his big thing is, if he's sitting down, in a seat or something, he'll just have his, and this is going to sound explicit, but he'll just have his penis hanging out. And it's,
I get it. Like upstairs where the simulcast racing is.
Wait, what happens here again? And out. And it's, thing is, if he's sitting down, in a seat or something, he'll just have his, and this is going to sound explicit, but he'll just have his penis hanging out. I had two can play at that game. I can do it too. Oh, hardcore pranks. Let's listen a little bit more. By the way, just so you guys can see this, right now, this is a longer phone call. You can see that I have right now. Hey, Jim, you did it to me, so turnabout is fair play. You harassed me first over at EcoSet, so now you're getting your receipt, as they say. You can see that we're already 4 minutes into the call here, and it's.
I get it. You mean sitting down, like upstairs where the simulcast racing is?
I've only been in there one time. I'm not 100% sure if that's where it is, but yeah, I know where the racing and the sports betting is. Yes.
Upstairs.
I think it's upstairs. Yes. I wanted to be careful because I didn't know if she was trying to catch me in a lie or not. And I don't know that place very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've witnessed this yourself?
Well, I've witnessed from like I've witnessed it online, and I've had somebody else tell me about it as well. I mean, have I seen his penis directly? No, but this has been something that's been going around, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I see this guy in here all the time, and like I give an example. Like I know I don't want to drop anybody else's names, but like when you come into a casino, you know, you meet people and this and that, and I go to a bunch of different casinos. And this specific one guy kept saying, "Do you know this guy? He's that arena kicker guy." Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, have you heard what he's doing?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know about that. I've met him too." You know, so I guess he goes to. I mean, I go to Wheeling a lot more than I come up there. I go to Wheeling, but you know, it just yeah. So I mean, what could be done about this? And that you know what? That the rest of that. And there's another 6 minutes. Will be played on my members only. There's not going to be a members only, but yeah, the rest of that'll be played on my members only. That'll never happen. Turnabout is fair play. You did it to me first. You got the receipt. You know, that's just how that works. So I have a feeling that the nice people over at the Hollywood Casino in Austintown might have a conversation. You better hope that you don't have a player's card, because if you do, the next time you plug that in for your free play, they're going to know who you are, and they're going to ask you about why you were dangling your penis around, allegedly, in the casino. I don't know. I mean, that's just what I heard. But I don't like to do that kind of content, but, you know, I turnabout's fair play, like I said. It's just the way that it is. 23 right now. Jeremy N asked a question. He talked about Scarecrow Video. I've heard of them before. I haven't heard about them before. Now you know about them. It's badass. Check out earlier in the show. I talk about it a little bit more in depth. Texas Granny coming in. Miss Texas coming in. Texas Granny coming in. And now Rainbow Melon coming in. That's 23. Thank you so much. 23 super stickers. Yeah, and hey, you know, that it's not that malicious. You know, I'm not doing that wide like that. Like that's very light compared to. I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm not trying to ruin anybody. And yeah, Jim does a bit, does a prank. I do a prank. You know, let me know if that cost you money. So it's ridiculous. The 99 strikes again. That's right. So yeah, we're just having a little bit of fun here, and just to kind of laugh at it. There's not going to be any lawsuits. There's not going to be anything. This is all about Jim not wanting, and I'll keep saying it over and over again. You know, this is all about, you know, Jim not wanting you to discuss that he got another man, a smaller man than him, grabbed him. And then all of a sudden he did the pro wrestling thing when the guy got in between him, that he was going to go after him. You know, it's just junk. So, it's no comment, but yes. Jim mentions me, I do strike. There you go. So you saved him from losing money. Good. Hey, and I can tell you this. I have a lot better chance. Not that I'm actually even humoring this. I guarantee you I can prove that there's a gambling issue, and he can't prove that there's not. Just because he hasn't been to a GA, which would really help him, doesn't mean there's not. And Mr. X, you gamble too. Yeah, fucking $20, $30, $40 a game. You know, not every game. You know, not like, you know, at the expense of other people. So it's just ridiculous. So I got one more little thing, then I'm going to send out something to Johnny. You know, I wanted to end with that, but this is very important news. It is the pinnacle of news for today, at least. You know, we gotten through a lot of different things, but this is very important. You know, we've talked about people passing away. We've talked about pranks. We've talked about shenanigans, but this we haven't talked about. And this happened over in an area called, Vilnius, Lithuania. Vilnius, Lithuania. That's all I know. That's all I know is that's where, and it's like, they need to have this in the United States. And what it is I think it's something that's been going on for 5 years. And you know me, I like the animals. I like to talk about a lot of different things. And we'll read off the Cash Apps and the PayPals, Venmos, anything I missed on anybody. But This is the big news of the day. Monkey, don't bring up a commercial. Don't do it to me. The Corgi Run, the dog run that is in Lithuania. We'll just bring it up. The cute dogs, they have a little race. They can only be corgis. They run around. Somebody tries to come in first. Catch me if you can. This is in Lithuania. Why is this not in Santa Monica? They run around. They're all very cute. Looks like they're floating a little bit. The little kids come out. They dress up the corgis. They're having a good time. International Corgi Race. Now, corgis are long, skinny dogs, but they're very furry and very cute. Like I said, this is the most important news. Then they dress up. They get cute. They want to be snuggled. They want attention. Only corgis are allowed into this. This is my AP Oddities news of the day. And she's got, I don't know what the hell that is. Is that a atomic bomb blast? But you can see everybody's got a smile. Everybody's taking pictures. Everybody loves the corgis. That's it. This one's a basketball player. There's not really any news. I just wanted to share it. I just thought it was cute. I'd rather end on that than end on something that's really negative, like all that bullshit that's going out there in the world with, this guy's fighting this guy, and this guy's fighting this guy, and this guy's striking this guy, and yada, yada, yada. Oh, my God. Enough. Jim, you want it to stop? Then just stop, And I'm not even going that hardcore. You know what I mean? So, Jeremy, I must have missed your comment there. Jeremy said earlier, added a Letterbox review. Thank you for mentioning Scarecrow Video. Didn't know about them. Well, now you do. So I must have missed that. Thank you for Texas Granny for sending that to me because I missed it. Johnny, I'm going to send you over a link. I got a little bit of time here left. And obviously I want to read everything off too, but if you're feeling up to it, obviously doing a lot of health checks here. We'd like to hear how you're doing. We did one on Friday. We'll do one here. I don't know if it was a rough weekend for you, if you're doing a little bit better, but hopefully things are working out. I'm working on it right now as I am getting everything ready. Johnny Yarborough, link. And I never heard back from Janelle either. Maybe there will be something on Wednesday. You never know. Maybe it'll be horrible. Okay, so I think I sent it. Yes, I've sent it to Johnny Yarborough. Johnny, you got it. Okay, it's sent. If you want to come up. And then I will take the rest of this time to catch up with some people in the chat. 270, over 250 the entire time. Pretty strong there. Not a lot of people on. It's an earlier time. I just did. You might want to check it out, Lashes and Tat, at Mr. X TV. It's not really anything that's super organized. I just put that over there because I didn't want that over here. I think that that's something that that woman could strike. I do agree with Jim that she does not own that content for that game. She was paid. Lips was paid. And I did. I look at it like I paid her. I didn't take any money for that game so she could record it. She doesn't own that content. Just because she ran the camera doesn't mean she owns it. So now that stuff before the game, well, that's probably a little bit better of an argument on her behalf because that wasn't during the game. So she might own that. I don't know, probably. But anything during the game, she doesn't own that. That's for sure. I would look at it like I own it. Well, I'm the only one I think left that has it. So not that I think that anybody's going to go back and watch an indoor and arena football game from a couple years ago, and Jim is the one who told me to kind of make it rated R and make fun of the guys a little bit, kind of like make it like a roast almost, not do it normal. So she tried to sell it and it took money. Yeah, I believe you. Johnny's coming up. Bring you up on panel. Johnny, what's up?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Good. Still morning in Australia.
Still morning in Australia.
How you feeling?
A little bit better today. Just a little bit sore.
Are you still taking the pain medication?
Yeah.
Is it making you loopy, or do you feel good overall, or what?
It makes me feel loopy, and it makes me feel it makes me feel like being weird, being a weirdo. You know what I mean? Like I when I take them, I guess I talk. I let things all out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm on the phone, I let things out that I shouldn't let out. You know what I mean? And,
like truth serum.
Huh?
It's like truth serum.
Like what?
Truth serum.
Oh, like food serum or something like that.
Oh, one quick thing too before I forget it, because I got this on the tip of my tongue. Jim also mentioned, and we'll get back to the food serum. The thing about the 8-ball and the cocaine and all this. I heard that story from Jim. I would not have known anything about that woman had Jim not told me that story years and years and years ago. Have I ever said that woman, the wife, is doing cocaine and drugs now? Absolutely not. I've never said that. I'm saying that back then, that was the story that was given and told to me by Jim. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah,
I just want to say this too.
Go ahead.
Hey guys, I want everybody to listen to this real closely. Guys, I'm not going nowhere. I'm healing. I just had surgery on the 11th.
Yeah.
And today is only the 17th, so it hasn't even been a week yet. But overall, I'm starting to move around a lot more. I'm starting to get up and move around. I'm starting to bend over a little bit more and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm not going nowhere. You guys are going to have to run me off.
And what about the marijuana? People are saying the marijuana might help you instead of those pain medications.
I only got a couple left of those pain medications anyway, so after that's over, that's it.
Yeah, those things you can get hooked on them real easy from what I understand. By the way, before I forget, it is Rainbow Melon. Did I miss that? I don't know if I did. I think that was the last one. She is number 23. Rainbow Melon, 99 cents. No, I did say that one earlier. Thank you, Rainbow Melon.
Oh, Texas Granny, I miss you guys too, Texas Granny.
Yeah, I mean, you missed one show. It's not like you were gone for 6 months or anything. Or Adele was gone for a month, and there was all these rumors.
And Mr. X, I haven't done. And you know what, Mr. X, I haven't done. I haven't done a lot of shows like I'm used to and doing and not doing memberships. I'm not doing members shows in a long time, and I think I should start doing that.
You know what you should do if you do a membership show? Just do a real solid, tight 2-hour Gays on Patrol. Like I could come up and host it, and it's just going to be 2 hours. Like you're going to go to one specific place at one time at night, and whatever happens in this 2 hours, that's it. That way, it's not stretched over. Whatever. Like that would be a good idea, and it gives you something to do, and then. Maybe nothing happens.
Well, we're going to have to change the name because I don't want him coming back to me and says, I gave y'all that name and blah, 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 blah.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you can't copyright a title. And I highly doubt that he doesn't own Live on Patrol. That's from Live on Patrol. He doesn't own that concept.
Yeah.
And you hear all this stuff. Who does Mr. X have that I didn't have before? Well, let me tell you this. Who did Jim have that wasn't on Tyler Feller, Doug Hutton? It's what's called borrowed platform.
Yeah. I want to ask you another question.
Where did all those people come from? They saw Jim on different shows. It's fucking ridiculous.
Hey, Mr. X, you said that you will help me host the show, right?
Yeah, if you decide to do something, as long as it's not on, we got to plan it out a little bit. It's not.
Yeah, we got to plan it out. Well, yeah, I'm just reading the chat. It says, set it up, Mr. X. That's what it's in the chat saying.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it and good stuff like that and promote it out there.
Yeah, there's an example. Like, for example, Rainbow Melon saw Jim on Doug's. So that's where Rainbow Melon, and then Rainbow Melon found out about me. Like, you could say that because of Doug, I got to meet Rainbow Melon because of Doug, not because of Jim. That's how I would look at it.
Yeah. And you know what? The only reason why I found Jim is because of PZ.
And PZ was watching what? Tyler Feller or one of these shows or something?
Yeah, he was watching Doug.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could say that they're quote unquote Doug's people. I mean, there's always somebody. They're not anybody's people. Nobody owns anybody. These are people that are out there and they want to go watch a show. And if they like the show, they like the show. And speaking of liking the show, I got to mention this, Johnny. I didn't do it earlier, but I got to do it. You're up here. Mean Green coming in $5. Great show, Mr. X. It's at $3.51. Miss Texas comes in $50. Happy Monday, Mr. X. That's 404. Thank you, Miss Texas, coming in big on all different platforms. Jeremy M's over here too. 417, $5 for the Mr. X. Spanky in Boise coming in. XNN Rocks, $10 for the Mr. X. Lashes and Tats, happy Monday, 5:01 p.m., $5 for the Mr. X. And I was at Raising Cane's this weekend. It's pretty good.
And I also want to say thank you. And I want to say
what else you got.
And I want to say thank you to Mean Green for the Cash App. Thank you, Mean Green. I really appreciate that. Hey, Lashes and Tats, I have not forgot about you. I'm still going to take a video of that cat house for my cat house for you, so you can do whatever you want with it. She wanted me to take a video of it, some footage of my of Bug's electronic clean itself cat litter box.
Yeah, the self-cleaning litter box.
Yeah, she wanted me. Okay. She wanted me to take some photos of that. Yeah, so
you want to see a dirty litter box. Let me tell you something else, Johnny. Let me say thank you to Allie. Allie, I got your messages. I didn't use them on XNN today, but I think I will in the future. She comes in $5. And then also Texas Granny comes in. This is PayPal, $25. Thank you, Texas Granny. Thank you, Allie. Texas Granny always comes in on PayPal and on the super stickers. And Miss Texas comes in on the Cash App and the super sticker. Some people do both. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's good stuff. I've had a lot of good shows. You know, Mr. X is losing steam. Well, I see 290, 291. Doesn't look like I'm losing that much steam, but then I think they got off the bot thing. You know, they stopped that.
Yeah, you got 290, Mr. X, 290.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. And you could see, can you see the starred Cash Apps in the right side next to where it says live chat in the StreamYard?
No, mine got private chat, comments, and recording.
Okay, so yeah, there's 21. There's been 2 before. It's 23. 23.
I don't see your memberships. No.
Yeah, and I today I was very hesitant to do the stuff that I did today, but I was like, you know what? You know, I had a good show. I thought with the EcoCast, it's something completely different, something nobody's ever done, nobody's ever talked about, and I had enough that wasn't about hater stuff, and I was like, you know what? Why not bring it up? And dude, I talked to Janelle through emails. I tried to talk to Eric Foss. I've tried to talk to Shark Hitter. You know, they got to go their own route. They got to do, I mean, and maybe their route is doing what they're still doing. That's fine for them. But I can tell you that these people over here are a little bit brighter and and everybody's going to say that about people who are nice to them, but these people are brighter. And if you're going to put pictures up of people's grandkids, you're just going to get struck. I mean, that's really stupid. Like what? Like, let me just get this right from this point of view. What are you going to gain, Eric Foss, from putting up a picture of a kid that's underage and somebody's grandkids? You know, these grandparents are like real protective. You're just going to get struck. Like, do you think somebody's going to send you Cash Apps over that? Now you're going to say, well, Mr. X, you were on a show. Jim did that kind of stuff a lot. I didn't do that shit to people. You know. So that's it. You were over on Doug's as well? Yes.
Look how pretty Lashes and Tats is, Mr. X.
A very attractive woman. She's got nice hair.
Yeah.
I wonder if her hair is real, or like, you know, because like these women, they only like, there's only so much room on the scalp, but their hair is like fucking this thick. And it's like, you know, do they have the tracks in there, or they just got a great head of hair? I wish my hair looked like that.
Yeah.
But
hey, you know what? Here's a funny story. You want to hear a funny story, Mr. X?
Yeah.
I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, I went into Rumble, right? I guess I'm monetized over there on Rumble now. Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, I went to go set up a show. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing over there, man.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, because there is something I want to say to Jim Terry.
Well, I can only
do it on Rumble.
Yeah, I would, it's very easy to do once you know. I mean, it's just like anything. It's like driving a car. Once you know how to do it, then it becomes very easy. But it's a little bit different than YouTube. But just at some point, let me know. And
Okay.
you have to connect your Rumble, though, to StreamYard like you do YouTube.
How did I do that?
Well, I mean, you connected StreamYard to YouTube at some point. Let me go through it because I'm going to connect mine. All I did was upload a video, so I don't have it so I could stream over there yet. And after I go through it, then I can help you.
Okay.
Yeah, practice makes perfect. Says there's Allie right there. Yes. So yes, Lash is. I wonder if Lashes and Taft is Italian. She might be Italian or something like that because Italian women have like very thick hair. And then they have a way of like they know the shampoos and stuff to like make it thicker and like smell good. I don't know that.
Oh, look at that, Mr. X. Stiffy's monetized now.
Oh, are you? Okay, I didn't know that.
All right.
Yeah, don't forget to put her in there.
look what Texas Granny wrote in your
chat.
chat.
I don't want to bring that up on the show, but I didn't even know that. Yeah,
no, you can bring it up. It ain't nothing bad. It ain't nothing bad. It's just a video. It's just a uploaded video like you did yours.
Yeah, but those kind of words, I would probably shy away from having those kind of words on the screen.
Oh, okay. Fuck you, Jim.
I mean, I think we could say it, but it's just like somebody could say that that's a harassment, and it's not me posting it. So
yeah.
Anyway,
I get it.
Well, you're monetized on Facebook, not on YouTube. Make that clear. I don't know. I would probably consider changing that, Johnny, because all they're going to do is strike that on Rumble. You can do what you want.
Change the title. Change the title.
Yeah, I mean you could. I mean, do what you want. Steffi Live tonight. I could play that. So, all right, Johnny, I'm going to be wrapping it up in a little bit. What else you got?
I got nothing left. I'm coming live on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Wednesday.
Did you like the new countdown at the beginning? I'm going to play it for like 10 seconds. You like this? Look at this.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that.
I made my own.
Hey, now you just got to get some super stickers and super sticker songs like I used to have. Remember?
Well, what I did was I did kind of like PZ. I just said, "Can you make an instrumental song that's like a dance song for the first half and a rock song like Rage Against the Machine for the second half? No singing, because sometimes you're like, oh, I like the song, but I don't like what the words are."
Yeah.
PZ. I like the PZ Happy Birthday one that he did. Actually, that's probably my favorite one. But
yeah, he does a lot of good things, and he, you know what, he was there for me when I had my surgery. He took me there. He waited there till my surgery was done, and everything was just like, take out the F word.
And just make it F star, something like that.
Okay.
I'm always erring on the side of caution when you're monetized like that.
Okay.
I mean, you could do whatever you want, but like, why should you lose potentially earnings over anybody?
Right.
That's how I look at it.
And I reposted my other video that I already had on there. You can repost videos on there. You can repost it.
Yes.
And this was when me and King was on the panel. Laughing Eyes was on there. There's a whole bunch of us guys that were on there that were older they came from Jonda, you know what I mean? And so it was pretty cool. I'm trying to learn how to set up a live show though.
Yeah, I'll have to go through it because it's been a couple years since I've been on there. I obviously just uploaded a video, but I have to see how I got to go through the process again. But I remember it being fairly simple.
Okay.
Wow, I see Texas Granny went fishing and caught a big fish. I don't want to show it because I don't want to get 15 inches looks like mines. I don't think I'd want one that big. That's too much. So.
Yeah. You see my speaker, Mr. X, you see my speaker right there, all lit up right there?
Yeah, it is, in the corner, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a triangle, and it has speakers on this side and it has speakers on this side, But right now, it's doing different colors right now.
Yeah, it moves. You like those speakers. That's like your thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you never got into like CBs or like radios or walkie-talkies. Maybe you have. I've kind of always liked that stuff.
Yeah. My thing that I'm getting into now is body cams. I'm getting into body cams now. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what you got to do.
Looky here. Mick Jagger. There you go. Oh, look at that, Mr. X, that bitch.
Yeah. Well, here's the bottom line, Mauve or Maeve or whatever your name is. You have been an adamant hater of the Mr. X. I don't even know who you are. But we did figure out who you were. And typically that doesn't happen, but too bad. Too bad for you. Now go cry about it on Eric Foss's. She's gone. Thank you for coming in here. I forgot about you. I blocked you. Don't blame it on Texas Granny or Barbara Buffalo. I forgot about it. There's so many haters out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mauve, when you do 440, 450 shows just on XNN, not counting like Johnny's or Jim Terry TV or Crab Legs Friday or any of that, you might forget one or two. Sorry. You're a bitch. You won't be back here.
Oh, I got.
And here's the other thing. There's so many other things Mauve could go watch. Why be over here?
I know, right?
Get out of here.
I got some more exciting news too, Mr. X.
What's that?
The 28th of this month, I'll be getting my teeth, bro.
You're getting close.
Yeah.
That's good. That's right around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. As a matter of fact, it's next week. It's next week.
Since I lowered the StreamYard from 100 hours to 50 hours, like I took almost everything off of it. And I think because it's been like 2 months since the OTT. And it seems like I had to take everything to a hard drive like once every 2 weeks. Now I have to do it once every 2 months.
Oh, yeah?
So it's like you're talking, you bringing up the teeth and that being next week just makes me think of the last 2 months and me not having to take anything off. And I took it all off last night. Well, all off except for like 10 hours. There's a few things I want to say, but save. Thank you, everybody who has been supporting me, Rainbow Melon. I appreciate it. That kind of stuff, when, you know, that's what pisses somebody off like Mauve. That we can laugh here, even in the face. Like, I went to Eco Set and, you know, Jim doing that. Like, after it was over, we literally laughed at him. I bet you he isn't laughing the next time he walks into Hollywood Casino.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't even that hardcore. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Club before you know it.
No.
Cute dog. Anyway, what else, Johnny? What else you got? I'm going to be wrapping it up here in a little bit.
I don't got nothing left, Mr. X. It's time for WWE.
WWE tonight. What is it? Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
Who's your favorite wrestler right now?
Roman Reigns.
You still like Roman Reigns?
Yep.
Yeah, he is legit. Took him a number of years to get going, but you know, he doesn't have to do any of the backflips or any of the shenanigans or any of the crazy stuff. What about, did you see the story about AJ Styles' son?
No.
AJ Styles just recently retired, and his son was working in some indie promotion, and his son thought he was big shit. And at the, you know, these guys that pay their dues when they're coming up, everybody else that was there was cleaning up and helping stack chairs, and he just left. He's like, I was paid to wrestle. Fuck you. Yeah. But he's got that name, so, I mean, maybe he doesn't have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's right. There is. Good show, Mr. X. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chats. Have a good night. She's out of here. Johnny,
Right,
what else you got?
I got nothing left. Thank you, Mr. X, for letting me join your panel.
Yes, and then we'll see you on Wednesday or what?
Wednesday night. Yep.
All right, I should be around at 7:30 or later.
Okay.
And I'll hopefully get the chance to catch up with Mean Green.
All right.
All right, get out of here.
All right, later.
He's out of here. Thank you, Johnny, for coming aboard. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of Mr. X News Network here. I know it's going to be a little bit short. Usually I go 3 hours, but something's going on tonight for the Mr. X. And it's not any sexy time. It's not any, I'm hesitant to say what it is. I don't even know if I should say. But you'll find out sooner or later. Thank you guys for being, thank you, everybody. The 23 super stickers, we'll go through them real quick again, all of them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget about the 2 with Rainbow Melon before the show. Kathy Fagan, Texas Granny, Miss Texas, Texas Granny, Barbara Buffalo, Jungle Jane. I've read the other ones off on the super stickers, PayPals, no Venmos today. Rainbow Melon, Johnny Bro, Miss Texas. We talked about the stories with Jeremy M. There's Jeremy M again. Let me know, Jeremy M, if you get anything from that place, if you end up like doing that program. The guy that runs the store a little bit was kind of a little bit of a dick, you know, because I was trying to interview him and I got like 5 minutes, but I'm not going to use it on the show. But hey, they do got a lot of movies. That place looks like a library. Texas Granny, Miss Texas, Texas Granny, Rainbow Melon again. They all came in, 23 of them. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the Cash Apps. I read them off. The PayPals. Allie came in the other show at the end of the other show and this show. I appreciate it. We're still staying strong. We're not losing any steam. We'll be back here on Wednesday with Johnny Yarbrough. Check out Johnny Yarbrough's show. Yarb 76 is his deal. And then I'll be back on Thursday for Mr. X News Network. That's how it works. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rainbow Melon, Texas Granny, Barbara Buffalo, and everybody else who's joined me throughout the night, even the haters. Marv, I know you don't like the Mr. X, but you enjoy the Mr. X for some weird reason, even if it's just being hate watching. But, you know, really, you seem like an attractive lady. There's probably other things you could do with your time. I don't know. Maybe you can put a smile on somebody's face like this. That, you see that right there, Marv? That is an AI updated photo. There's the old one. I know that looks like shit. That's real life. And then here is fake life like that. That's right. Thanks, guys, so much. Thanks for being a part of what I do. And I will see you real soon, Wednesday or sooner. Hopefully nothing bad happens to me. Hopefully, oh, by the way, is anybody knocking on my windows? What happened with that? Oh, that was last week. Somebody's saying, oh, Mr. X, that's so last week. That's right. Very last week. Nobody's coming here. Unless there is a defamation lawsuit. Yeah, there you go. There's your lawsuit right there. Oh, my God. This is so ridiculous. Have a great night. Have a great week. I'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching Mr. X News.